the information, so.
Yep. I just need to know that.
All right, we're back in session. This is the 9 o'clock group. We'll have the deputy clerk swear everyone in that's going to participate in a hearing on this at this hour.
Please stand and raise your right hand, sir, in the back. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Do you solemnly swear that any testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. So under Idaho Code 63-501, the Board of County Commissioners are required to convene as the Board of Equalization. We're here to determine market value under Idaho Code 63-205, which states that all real, personal, and operating property subject to property taxation must be assessed annually at market value for assessment purposes as of 12:01 a.m. of the first day of January in the year in which such property taxes are levied. Furthermore, under Idaho Code 63-502, the function of the Board of Equalization shall be confined strictly to assuring that the market value for assessment purposes of property has been found by the assessor, and to the functions provided for in Chapter 6, Title 63, Idaho Code relating to exemptions from taxation. The taxpayer shall have the burden of proof in seeking affirmative relief to establish that the determination of the assessor is erroneous. A preponderance of the evidence shall suffice to sustain the burden of proof. We're here to discuss the market value of the property, the condition, the state, or information that is relevant to this topic. This is fact and not opinion. We're not here to discuss taxes, past grievances, policy, personal income, or other issues. If you do not stick to the discussion as requested, your time will be reclaimed. The structure is that you'll be given 3 minutes. This white light will come on when you begin. The yellow light comes on with a minute left. When the red light goes on and the beep goes off, you're done. So you'll have 3 minutes, and then we'll answer questions, and then the assessor's table will have 3 minutes. We'll answer questions. The rules: be kind, direct all questions or comments to the board. If your conduct is out of line, you'll be warned once. If it continues to be out of line, you'll be asked to leave the building or escorted out of the building. So state your names, and then your 3 minutes will begin.
Eric Larson.
Watching Daphne Larson.
Your presentation.
So we got our assessment, and I just looked at my, in fairness to the assessor, my property is unique because it's there are no comparables nearby. I live in a neighborhood with a lot of lower priced houses, and I built a house that would be considered higher priced. So the assessor has to go far away to get his comparables. And when I looked at the assessment, I felt that it was a little high. And I don't have access to sales data because Idaho doesn't allow that. But just looking at advertised prices on realtor sites, I can find, and I provided in my file examples of homes with more square footage, more bedrooms, more baths that are being advertised for a less price. And so I just requested that the assessor take a look at whatever comparables he used for my assessment, and maybe do a reevaluation of it. That's all I have to say. It was a 28% increase in my assessed value, which I thought was pretty high, and I'm just asking for a reconsideration of the assessed value.
Okay, thank you. Questions?
Not at this time.
Your 3 minutes begin now.
We have the subject property sitting at 1416 Cottage Avenue. Sits on a little over 3 acres. 2+ story home built in 2011. The above grade square feet is 2,988, with the basement having 1,868, and we only have the minimal amount finished in that at 187 square feet. We have it assessed currently at $634,031. It's coming in at $165 per square foot once you take out the extremity, like the detached garage shed, those type of. Comparable number 1 sits at 4507 Pocahontas Drive. It's on just under a 1/4 acre lot, 2-story home, built in 2013, has 2,239 square feet above grade. 1,284 in the basement with 450 of that finished. It sold for $600,000 in December of 2021. With a price adjustment for time, it would be $607,500. It's coming in at 196 per square foot. Comparable number 2 sits at 527 Taylor on a quarter-acre lot, 2+ story home, built in 2006, a little bit older than the subject. Has 2,389 square feet between the above grade levels. In the basement, we have 1,511 with 453 of that finished. It's coming in at $180 per square foot, which is just a little bit higher than the subject. It sold for $554,900 with a time adjustment would be $603,454. Then the comparable number 3 is on 11751 Cumberland Road. It sits on 4.65 acres, 2+ story home, built in 2005, has 2,564 square feet above grade, 1,334 for the basement with a full finished basement. Sold for $950,000 back in March of 2021 with the time adjustment. We put it at $1,068,750 with a price per square foot of $222. So looking at the price per square foot and the different sales prices, I would say that he's well within the bracket. Actually, he might even be slightly low compared to some of the price per square foot, just because of the amount of square feet he has. That they
Okay.
have, I should say.
Questions about what you just said?
Well, yeah, I'd love to, I'd love to see those comparables. So you're comparing my home to a $1 million home? That seems a little out of line. I'm not an assessor, so that just, as a comparable, that seems like a strange choice.
It's based on square feet and similar amenities,
Okay.
What are the amenities? They're
like
similar.
bathroom count, bedroom count, square feet,
How many?
acreage.
How many bedrooms? Because we only have, what, 3?
3.
I would have to look that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
We base it on mainly square feet, bathroom count, fixture count. We don't count the bedrooms like on a fee appraisal because we mass appraise, so it's basically square foot finished.
Okay. Commissioners, questions?
So, this is an interesting one. It took me a minute to figure out where that house was, because it looks like you go through,
It's down in the middle of Cottage Avenue.
yeah, and I don't, the house in front apparently has 1940s pickup that's parked in the front lawn, and a couple abandoned buses and a bunch of other stuff too. So the problem you have is, yeah, if you pick this house up and you went and put this house anywhere else, this house would be $1 million house. What the problem is you're in the area, so you have some improvements. The argument that I'll give you is, I mean, you built it, the improvements are the improvements. And so, yeah, they might be using $1 million house to compare off of, but your square footage and your improvements are the same. Doesn't matter where you take that house. Now, what I will argue with and agree with you on is your land values, is because even though you're on 3 acres out there, they're not going to let you subdivide that out there without going through a formal process, and I doubt that they'll let you do it. Are you on septic and well, or are you
No, city.
on the city there?
City.
Because there's a mixture throughout those neighborhoods of septic, well, city water, city sewer, it depends on where the house is. So, I mean, your biggest argument is, and I'd go back and I would look at like your land values, comparable 1 and comparable 2. Your Pocahontas Drive, your land value, even though they're smaller building lots, your land value there, I don't even know. You have a rubble pile in the front of the 1 yard, and it looks like on Google Earth it's still sitting there. So, I mean, I would just return the land value to last year's land value, but the improvements, your improvements right now, you're buying a piece of sheathing for $50. I mean, that's the problem is you're not depreciating right now on an improvement value. If you had that house with your square footage, it's a big house. It's a big flipping house. That's all there is to it. And so, yeah, you're going to have, now, you make a very good argument too, based upon where the location is somebody willing to pay $600,000 for a house right there next to Cottage? You apparently were. So maybe there's another you out there. I'm just saying, improvements are improvements. Lot value and land value, I'm definitely there with your argument, and I agree with you on that.
Mr. Huff?
Well, this is one that I'm struggling with because, for once, the internet agrees with the appellate. I'm looking at two different sites, and they agree with the appellate's price, and I back out the square footage, and if I use the internet price that I'm looking at, it actually changes his square footage price to 167 a square foot versus the 165. And I'm looking at a price of 532, which is kind of the average of the internet places I'm looking at. So I'm in a quandary on this one.
Well, and like I said, your improvements are, yeah, but the problem is yeah, you do have some location adjustment. How much is that adjustment?
We've used them sites on others that we've talked about.
Go with it.
So, give me a motion.
Yeah, what do you want?
Give me 1 second, I'll give you a number.
All right. If I was you, what I'd be doing is that neighbor that has that whatever that 1940s whatever that pickup is out in front. I'd be hot rodding that thing, man. I'd be. Hey, he has a for sale sign in the front of it too.
Well, you can see that one.
You're allowed to speak.
We have some levity here. We're
You can make a comment.
I was being funny.
Because he's making a decision here,
We,
but
we built the house when I got back from Iraq with my deployment, and I just wanted to have a nice house, and I built it. We had the land.
Where'd you chew at? Where were you at?
I was in Taji.
Okay. I was in Blod.
Oh, right on, Mortareville.
Mortaritaville, man. What year were you there?
And my neighbor,
What year were you?
I was there almost all of 2009.
I was there in 2005.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid.
The heat of it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, my neighbor wants way too much for the truck, but you could try him. He wants like 8,000 or 10,000 for it. It's ridiculous.
No.
Sorry, I'm having some issues with my internet and then the files not wanting to read. Yeah, we could get the file. That one focused on that last year.
Like I said, you have a beautiful house. You would if you had that house up on the canyons or anything like that. You have $1 million house right there, no problem. That's why they're looking at. I mean, as big as a house as the year it was built. Yeah, you're the biggest built house in the neighborhood by far. But at the same time, there is still some property there that sooner or later, if you went through the process, you could actually sell that. You could split that off and sell it.
All right, Mr. Chair, I make a motion that on parcel, what was parcel number? RPHOA 004701, that we adjust the value to $495,900 with the reduction coming off of the improvements. Should you agree?
I have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we made an adjustment. We brought it down to $495,900. You have the ability to appeal to the state tax board or to the district courts, and the assessor does also if they are not in agreement with this. Other than that, I'd consider your hearing over.
Thank you for your time.
Hey,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, Jim? State your name and your 3 minutes begin.
Jim Rohrbach, 219 Highway Avenue. I'm here to appeal my new tax assessment. Just to follow up on the last guy was here, I'm in the same boat with, I'm in an area that is not the best as far as house prices. I got city rental houses across the street, the whole way up and down the street with no appraised value whatsoever. As I look at the tax map, my taxes, actually since 2019, with this new adjustment.
Okay, we're not talking about taxes.
Oh, huh?
We're not talking, we're talking about assessment.
Assessment.
Okay, okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, the assessment value, since 2019, is going to be going up $194,082. That's in 3 years. There's no improvements to the house. It's sitting there as it was. I bought it for my daughter 2 years ago. I paid her too much for it because she needed money for a new house, but that's besides the point. I wanted to appeal last year, and my wife and I both got sick and didn't do it. So anyway, I think the increase for this year is just unjustable, or I think it's unreasonable, for one. I'm not sure where the comparisons come from. Like I said, on a 219 highway, a dead avenue, dead end street. So you take this house, look up and down the street. I looked at the tax map. There's 2 trailer parks that are valued at $115,000 for the one, $115,000 for the other. This is last year's. And you go down the line: 211, $121, $164, 162, $173, and you're saying my house is worth. Actually, after talking to Lynetta, we tweaked a couple of the details of the house, and she dropped it. I think it came down $17,000, but it's still $381,000 for this house, which I think is sort of outlined where it's placed. I think if anybody wants to give me a check for that right now, I'll take it. So basically, that's where I'm at.
All right, questions on what he said? Your 3 minutes begin now.
I did speak with Mr. Rohrbaugh yesterday afternoon, and we adjusted the basement finish and bathroom fixture count, which did bring the value down to 281,206.
381.
Or yeah, 381. Yeah.
Okay.
381,206.
If it would be 281, we
You
wouldn't be here.
281, you should have jumped on it.
We wouldn't be here.
381,206. And looking at the sales of areas, like over on Canal and different areas close by, with similar homes, the average, they range from around 308,000 up to 427, and that's homes with no garage, but they also don't have a detached garage or any outbuildings and are on regular sized lots. He has a little over a half acre. So I just ask that we change the value to the 381,206 at this time.
Questions on what you just said?
On those comparables, are they new houses, or are they?
No, they're similar year built.
Okay.
In what street?
All conversations up right here.
Okay, and what street?
Like over on Canal Street, out Noah, one was on Sorrel, to kind of find something with a little more acreage.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that area, but I know where I am at, and like I said, the neighboring properties are not the best,
Okay,
I would say, because most of them are owned by the city, for one, and they're run down, and they rent them out.
all right, thank you. Commissioners?
So,
His land is the same as mine,
yeah, land.
and he has a half acre.
This is one where I'll call it.
Right
This is
here.
where I'll call it
Sorry, my time.
a locational obsolescence. It very well, just like in the last house, we have a house that could have been worth $1 million if it was in the right location. But this one, you have a trailer park down the street, you have city offices across the street, you have a bunch of other stuff, and we've jumped 39% over last year's improvement values. If you set the 205, 931 at a 24% rate, which and I've said this, that yeah, we've had bidding wars, but I don't know how much of a bidding war you'd have on that one. Now, a 24% increase over last year would have been 254, 114 on the improvement values. I'm just saying that as I start looking on the improvement values, and then if you factor in, the land, because that land actually, it's probably better to scrape it and use it for commercial purposes or other things, to tell you the truth, is where it's getting. So your land values aren't gonna change. I'd put you, with land, I'd put you at 323 total on the entire thing.
I'd accept that one.
I mean, that's, like I said, your land is going up because your land is gonna be more valuable for commercial purposes here very quickly.
Well, yeah.
And so, but your improvements are there, but yeah, you have,
You want to make that as a motion?
yes, Mr. Chairman, on parcel RPR CHWA 000501, I would move that the total value of the property be adjusted to 323,114, with the changes coming off the improvements.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
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 So we adjusted you down to 323,114. Like I said before, you had the ability to appeal that, they had the ability to appeal that. But other than that, I consider your hearing's over.
Okay. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Lori Jo Bills.
She canceled, and we did make an adjustment.
What's your adjustment?
Her adjustment is, do you want the total, or we didn't adjust the land, which, but the improvement, we adjusted from 188,663 to 170,700, for a total of from 281,613 to 263,650.
263,615?
Yes, and the land.
50.
650.
50. Okay, thank you.
And the land was 92,950.
Mr. Chair, on parcel RPRPFN 5004800, I make a motion that we accept the assessor's adjusted price of 263,650 with the values as indicated.
We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next we have Julie Stoltz.
She also canceled, and we made an adjustment to her as well. Total went from, okay, I've written down two different things. Oh, total went from 303,923 down to 253,393 with the adjustment on the improvement.
Mr. Chair, on parcel RPRPHIV 001500, I make a motion that we accept the assessor's new valuation of 253,393.
We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Bridger Morrison.
I didn't see any changes made on this one. Let me pull that up really quick. Yeah, they did not make any adjustments. He's at 444,731.
Land's in there, size of the house is there. You're gonna make an argument, he's making an argument over square footage excluding, he makes a square footage adjust, so he actually excludes the square footage of the garage, kind of what I was talking about yesterday. It's $100 a foot. I mean, he's in the ballpark. I don't have a problem with holding it. Mr. Chairman, on parcel RPR PVC 2001600, I move that we uphold the assessor's value. Did Phillips back out?
Yeah, canceled.
Can't, okay.
Yep. Phillips canceled this morning.
Wonder if they adjusted, I read what the file was, and they just bought that house, so,
Purchase property April
Um,
2022 for $750.
yeah.
We didn't adjust it because when Jason was talking to him right as I was coming over here, his home was in as a one story, and if we changed it to actually what it was going to take it up when correcting that. So he said he would correct that for next year and just leave it as is for now.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's at
finish the vote on
769,
that one.
435.
Oh, the last one?
Yeah.
No.
We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Sorry, I voted in my head.
So die.
That's it.
Well, if they
for-
purchased the property in April of 2022,
But they didn't provide any information, and it was not on the MLS, so.
It's never on the MLS with those guys. I mean, if he's pulled it, I'm out of this one.
Jeff
What?
Phillips, he's pulled. They
Okay.
said they had a conversation. Says that he purchased the property in April 20 for $750 and he got it.
It's not on the MLS and it's not,
Let's just go with this purchase
there was no
price. It's
appraisal
only
attached.
$19,000, so it's worth doing that.
Motion?
Mr. Chair, on parcel RPRCBR 7001500, I make a motion that we accept the appellate's purchase price of $750,000 as the assessed value.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. That's the end of that one.
Admins, baby. Finish.
Go back to admins.
We're almost. You only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Jolene Harrison.
Joe. That famous Dolly Parton song.
I think so.
I wouldn't know.
Miss Harrison, oh, sorry.
National average.
2.19. We keep getting lower.
Man,
Honestly, on this one, I didn't see anything.
no, it's there. Mr. Chairman, on parcel RPR, PFRV 034600, I move to uphold the assessor's value.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Moncure, Kimberly. Moncure.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move on parcel RPRPBL 1000500 that due to a lack of preponderance of evidence that we uphold the assessed value.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next, we have John Brad Johns.
Mr. Chairman, I move on parcel RPRAWMA000400 due to a lack of preponderance of evidence that we uphold the assessed value.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Clough. Hiram Clough.
Oh,
Old house and bad neighbors.
And you have to know this guy.
Is he the bad neighbor or the old house? The percentage is just,
Mr. Chair. Well,
no, just the percentages.
Mr. Chair, RPCRA 002200, I make a motion that we upheld the assessed value due to a lack of evidence in the file.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Mark Lewis.
Is this another one, Patsy, right?
Mr. Chairman, I'd move on parcel RPRPCRA002300 that due to a lack of preponderance of evidence that we uphold the assessor's value.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next we have Matthew Warren. What I paid for it, and he doesn't have what he paid for it.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move on parcel RPRPMYH002200 For having a lack of preponderance of evidence, or lack and failing to meet the preponderance of evidence, I move that we uphold the assessor's value.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Cord Whiting? That's quite a jump, but. Oh, okay. Looking at his difference, where he got his numbers from. I don't know.
On Park.
Oh, shit.
It's been BOE 3 times, and that's all. Mr. Chairman, on parcel RPRICPI002301, I move that we uphold the assessed value.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
With that being said, we are recessed till the 10